Welcome, strangers. Live from the realm of the entity is the only show where the guests are deadlier than the jokes. It's Late Nights with the Killer.
Hey, hello, everybody. Thank you. Welcome. Which one are you again?
I don't know. I've been dead for so long, I was ghosted before it was even cool.
Hey there, demons. It's me, your boy, and welcome to a revamped and special edition series of Late Nights with the Killer. And today, due to a special deal that I've made with Entity himself, for the next few episodes of Late Nights with the Killer, we're going to be pulling your favorite killers from the fog to sit down, give them a voice, and talk to them finally to see what's behind the mask.
Well, thank God we don't have to see behind your mask, Killer J.
Why? What have you heard? And today, we're going to be having the OG killer, the main guy himself, not your Jason Voorhees average copycat. Through interdimensional call, Evan McGillen, am I getting that right? Evan McMillan, aka the Trapper. But before we get to the interview, let's talk about today's sponsor. And today's Late Nights with a Killer is sponsored by Trapper's Tropical Punch. Now with their new flavor, Bear Trap Berry Lemonade, with extra pieces of iron and human skin in it. Refreshing. It sounds very good. It sounds actually very good. It sounds very nice. I would drink the whole bottle of that. That's not even kidding. Not because it's sponsored. I would drink a whole bottle of Trapper's Tropical Limeade. It sounds delicious. It sounds really delicious. But without further ado, pop up the call. Let's get the Trapper in here. Okay, guys. So we finally have Evan the Trapper here via interdimensional call. Evan, this is the first time you've had a voice since you went into the realm. Please introduce yourself to the audience and let us know, how do you feel for the first time to talk, after so many eternities inside of the realm?
Well, this is certainly an unfamiliar experience, being able to talk to people after so long in the entity's realm. I suppose the best way I can describe it is, well, liberating, though I can't truly say I mind being stuck in the entity's realm. It allows me to hunt as many victims as I like, so I'm not really complaining.
Okay, so, you're the Trapper, you're the OG killer, you're the original, you're the first person that I see when I open the game. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Who is Evan? Who was he before, he became the Trapper?
My past, before the entity. I was Evan McMillan, yes, heir to the McMillan family. I lived with my father, Archie, in the McMillan estate. He was a cruel man. He'd treat his employees like crap, and he'd kill anyone who questioned his decisions, including my mother.
So you're saying that you had an abusive father growing up, where we're starting off like that. We're starting with some serious, deep shit. So talk to me a little bit about your relationship with your father.
My relationship with my father? Well, there really wasn't one. The moment I became old enough, he started to see me as competition. He wanted me gone. He'd beat me. He'd scream and yell at me for the littlest things. And the moment I was old enough to speak back and defend myself, I paused, if such a thing is possible.
Okay, Evan. I didn't want to bring you into to the talk show as my first guest to talk a little bit about, I didn't want to bring you in here to talk about bad traumatic things. It's more of a happy kind of social situation. But I do understand that you as a killer, we have, us as killers, we have to look into our past. So how did you manage to actually deal with your father before going into the realm, or before the entity claimed you as the first killer?
Well, it certainly wasn't easy. You've seen the weapons I use, my bear traps and me mallet. I use them as my primary weapons in the entity's realm, and let me tell you, I had the practice to use them when I was a teenager. He put me to work in his mine, and I started working there when I was 16. The conditions were terrible, and the mine wasn't particularly safe either.
Did you kill your father, Evan?
Yes, I did. After my mother died, I began to despise my father. I hated him, so I killed him.
So how did you end up being the first killer from the entity? Was it after you killed your father? Did you go on a normal killing spree like every other serial killer, or were you just chosen at random?
No, it wasn't anything like that. There was nothing normal about being taken into the entity's realm, believe me. One evening, after I killed my father and before I was arrested, the entity appeared in my home. It took me from my home, and the next thing I knew, I was inside the entity's realm, chasing and killing survivors. And I've been killing ever since.
So you do realize that not only were you the first killer to actually get chosen by the entity, I don't know if in canon, but in history, of the actual realm of as we know it from being the spectators and the players of the game. Um, but you for certainly are the main one. How do you get along with other killers that are in this realm with you, like the OG killers of the entity?
Well, the other OG killers include the Wraith, the Nurse, the Hillbilly, and the Hag. And to put it simply, we get along very well. Since we were the first ones
Well, there
taken
is
into the
friendship.
entity's realm, we're usually the ones who know more on what to do. We work with each other to plan out our hunts and keep everyone in check.
Is there any of these killers that you knew outside of the realm, like in real life, or you've heard about before?
No, we didn't know each other before being taken into the entity's realm, so to speak. However, I'm assuming they chose killers that people would have heard about. After all, many of these other killers have been known about in their respective local communities.
Okay, okay. Listen, Evan. I know you're being, a little bit deceiving with your answers because it's probably the first time you've had a voice. So there's a lot going through your head, and you're probably missing some details. But I've heard from from our viewers right now and from my producer that you do have a relationship with one certain killer, which is the hillbilly. Can you elaborate on that piece of note, or is that just a fiction completely?
Well, I suppose it's not actually fiction. Yes, I admit, the hillbilly and I do have a sort of relationship, I suppose. We've been working together for a very long time, and we've grown very close in that time. I seem a bit uncomfortable admitting this.
I mean, you don't have to be uncomfortable. We all need a little bit of help every now and again. So, did you know the hillbilly outside of the realm or within the realm?
No, I didn't know him before the entity took us into its realm. We met here, and we formed our, as you put it, our relationship here. I used air quotes on the word relationship to signify that we're not exactly dating.
Whoa, 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 whoa! That's a little too much information over here. But I'm not saying it in a bad way. I'm just saying that let's leave the hot stuff for like the end, the rapid fire questions. We'll get to that in a second. So, but it's a friendship. It's a friendship, right? It's a type of relationship you guys had. Segueing into that, you obviously you're the OG killers. You guys have been in this realm for God knows how much time. Um, how do you get along with certain like killers that come in every now and again, or as we call them, seasonal killers or new chapter killers? How does your relationship with some of them, if you know who they are, if you ever cross paths?
Well, for the most part, I stay away from the newer killers. They typically act like they're better than everyone else because they weren't taken into the realm as early as we were. So I generally avoid the newer killers for that reason. I just don't like them.
I get it. I get it. The new kid on the block comes in, takes all the glory, and then when people get tired of that one, they come back to you. It's like a toxic, vicious circle. I get it, Trapper, but keep in mind, I know a lot of real, very good players and very good people that still root by you and still play as you for many, many years, and you're still the OG. So, from a personal standpoint to you, don't feel wrong because you get new people coming in. Some of them actually just get fucking forgotten after a week. That being said, is there any of these killers that you do get along with or you share some common likes or beliefs with?
Hmm. Well, the new killer that came out not too long ago, Wesker, is all right. He and I actually get along fairly well. He may be an arrogant ass, but he does get the job done, and we can work together without any problems.
That's very nice. Actually, I've talked to Wesker off, camera to try to get him in here. He's actually very willing to be in here. So make sure you guys watch for that episode when we interview Wesker as well. He's actually out of the realm right now. He's in the real world. So hopefully we can get him in there in a different type of format, other than interdimensional call. Cycling back to the realm and to the entity. Talk to me about your everyday life within the realm.
My life in the realm? Well, the entity keeps us all very busy. I get to hunt the survivors when they enter the trials. I help plan out new trials with some of the other killers, and I also help out occasionally with taking care of the other killers that get out of line, and I also spend time with the hillbilly on occasion.
What do you do with the hillbilly? Do you just hang around? Do you guys talk? Do you guys actually communicate? Because I do realize that this is the first time you've had a voice for like a while, and this is because of the deal that we struck with the entity. Do you actually communicate with the hillbilly, or do you guys hang out? Like, what's the whole situation there?
We communicate to an extent. He's difficult to talk to, especially with his condition, but we find ways to communicate. Sometimes we just sit around and don't say anything, but sometimes we do talk, and sometimes we do other things.
What do you mean by other things, Trapper? Are we talking about some realm kind of interdimensional serial killer romance?
I can't exactly just say what we do. There's an audience watching this, you know.
Okay, I understand, but just come on, give us a little bit of something. Is there something there with the hillbilly, or is there a type of relationship within the realm and within the confines that you guys can communicate that can signify a relationship other than friendship?
There is something, yes. The hillbilly and I are in a romantic relationship. We just don't put a definite label on it.
That's great, man. Hey, love is love, Trapper. Whether you are male, female, male and male, female and female, or killer and killer, and interdimensional not Neanderthal, but like
Oh no. Looks like Jay might have said just a bit too much. The entity had to pull him aside for a quick little chat. We'll be right back. Probably.
So, what is your dream matchup, actually? Now that we're segueing into this question and not into the other kind of matchup that you've had with the hillbilly, what is your dream versus matchup within the killers in the realm?
I'd say I'd definitely want to go up against the Ghostface. I think that he'd be a fun killer to try to take down. He looks very fast, so that could potentially make him a difficult target, but I have good skills that I think would work against him.
That means you would use bear traps in order to get him, right?
I think the bear traps would be particularly effective against him, especially considering how much the Ghostface is focused on stalking and staying hidden.
That is a pretty good strategy. So let's segue into a little more social questions. I just some fun, quirky questions that we're taking from the audience right now. So let's talk about an everyday, a get ready with me with the Trapper. Where does your day start and how does your day end?
My day typically starts pretty simple. I take care of myself, clean up the sort of stuff. Then the entity usually wakes me up and tells me that I'm needed for a trial. And after the trials are over, I just go back to my corner of the realm and I meet up with the hillbilly.
Whoa, okay. Bringing back hillbilly into the conversation. So when you say meet up, let me circle back to this question. Do you guys actually live together?
Yes, we do actually. We live together. We have our own corner of the realm to ourselves.
Do other killers know about your guys' relationship?
Few of them do. Wraith is aware, as well as the spirit and the executioner. But other than them, not many other killers know about it.
Let me ask you a very kind of deep and personal question. Do you feel like there's any killers who are against this type of relationship that you guys had? And I'm not talking about male and male. I'm talking about killer and killer.
There are a few killers who probably don't particularly like the fact that the hillbilly and I are involved. Wraith is fine with it, and the spirit's reaction is sort of indifferent. But Pyramid Head and I think some of the legions aren't too pleased with it, at least as far as I know.
I would assume that, I mean, it's kind of, it's kind of surprising that Pyramid Head isn't, doesn't agree with it because of his whole shtick with BDSM and some rumors that we've heard that he's very open-minded with a lot of different things. But I would assume it's because of your kind of personal turmoil that you mentioned multiple times that he's probably a dick. You know what I mean?
That's exactly it. Pyramid Head is a dick. He's very full of himself. So he probably doesn't approve of the fact that the hillbilly and I are involved, especially considering how obvious we are when we're not within the trials.
Okay, so we got another audience question. So after a long day of chasing survivors, taking them down, you know, getting Teabag, getting Flash, getting all that, what is like a perfect meal for the end of the day to recuperate those calories with the trapper?
Well, I like a very simple meal, but I have a feeling the hillbilly would appreciate something more fancy. For myself, I usually just have a couple pieces of meat I cook over a fire, and maybe a bit of wild-caught fish, but the hillbilly is the kind of guy who wants a big old steak with mashed potatoes and vegetables.
Very fond of the hillbilly. I'm very happy for both of you.
Ah, well, yes, the hillbilly is a very dear friend, and, well, he's more than a friend as well, but we're quite fond of each other.
It's actually very nice that within this hell that you guys are basically trapped in for eternity, you can find time and it's still find, you know, feeling to feel something and then still live a little bit, you know, as you were before you were trapped in this realm.
Yes, even within the horrific realm of the entity, there are moments of joy, and the hillbilly and I are able to find those moments and make the best of them, despite the circumstances of being trapped here.
Okay, so Trapper, my producer, is telling me that we have less than 5 to 10 minutes with our like little phone call deal. So I'm gonna segue it into the rapid fire question segment of this podcast, talk show, whatever thing that we're doing here, project. So are you ready for some rapid fire questions? Trapper, real quick, rapid fire questions. Fuck, marry, kill.
Well, if I had to, then I'd say marry the nurse because she seems like a nice enough person, and then I guess I'd have to fuck the Legion if that's what you mean, and I'd probably kill Pyramid Head.
Why Pyramid specifically? Why kill Pyramid Head? And can you kill Pyramid Head?
Because Pyramid Head is a dick, even to other killers, and yes, I could easily kill Pyramid Head, especially with my bear traps.
Okay, I will give you the benefit of the doubt on that situation, being that Pyramid Head is basically like an interdimensional BDSM kind of god. But if it comes down to it, and if ever the entity does like a versus mode, wink wink, with the killers, that would be a good matchup to see. Favorite survivor?
The one that I find the most entertaining, I'd have to say, has to be the Ghostface. He's a very stealthy fighter, and he's fun to hunt. I also like that he actually speaks when the game starts, so he's one of the better survivors, in my opinion.
Well, Ghostface is not a survivor. Ghostface is a killer. I meant survivors like Mag, like Nicolas Cage, like Leon Kennedy. Like, which one of them is your favorite? I know you're a little bit slow sometimes, but like, I know you can think, you know, rapid fire questions. Let's go.
Right. Well, my favorite is the Leon Kennedy survivor. He's a very interesting fighter, and he's, easy on the eyes, you know?
So other than him, oh, wait, stop. Did you say easy on the eyes? Do you think that Leon is attractive?
Yes, I do think Leon is attractive. He's very well built, and I like his hair. He's good looking. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, yeah, I agree. Leon is an attractive motherfucker. Like, I get it. Like, Leon is fucking, yeah, I would just munch on that motherfucker, like, all day. Anyways, rapid fire, real quick. Favorite killer other than Hillbilly, based on skills and, you know, personality?
Other than the Hillbilly, I'd say Wraith is probably my favorite. His power is very useful against survivors, and he's very fast. And personally, I find his appearance pleasing. It suits my taste very well. He's also a fairly silent killer, which I appreciate.
What's more annoying, getting looped, getting pallet, or getting head-on, or flashlight?
Oh, in order of least annoying to most annoying, flashlights are the least annoying, then head-ons, then pallet stuns. Being pallet stunned is very annoying, but flashlights aren't that bad, and head-ons can be avoided by simply not walking into the lockers, so, yeah, in that order.
Favorite map? of the realm?
My favorite map is the Dead Dog Saloon. It's a very good map for controlling the survivors, and it's easy to catch them quickly. It's also just visually appealing to me. I enjoy the old Wild West aesthetic.
Oh, I get what map you're talking about. So, okay, this is another little rapid fire question. I know the entity allows you to have different clothing and skins. What's your favorite skin that the entity allows you to wear?
My favorite skin, it has to be the classic suit. It's what I was wearing when I was first taken into the realm, and also it's just a clean, good look. I don't really like the other looks much. I feel like they're a little tacky, to be honest.
You heard it here, guys. Trapper thinks all the skins are tacky, and the OG ones are the actual good ones. So, we need to head out. The audience is getting a little bit desperate. This deal is heading towards the end. This call is heading towards the end. So, before we leave, Trapper, Evan, a message to the audience, to the world, something that you want to leave before the entity takes you back and takes away your voice. Please, the floor is yours.
I have experienced many things during my time in this realm, and most of them have been less than enjoyable. But, in spite of everything, there are still moments of joy in this realm, and I will cherish all the time I spend with the hillbilly and with the other killers. That's all.
Thank you very much, Evan. Thank you so much for being here in Late Nights with a Killer. Can you talk to the hillbilly? Let's see if he wants to come in. Maybe, I don't know, about 2 or 3 episodes from now, so we can kind of like, sit down and chat, talk a little bit more about you guys. I know that you told me that he likes the more fancy kind of like style and stuff like that. So maybe we can get some interesting answers to how your guys' relationship has been going. Because that's some spicy conversation that I want to have with him. Anyways, say bye-bye, Trapper. Say bye-bye, Evan, to the audience.
All right. Goodbye, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed getting to know me. It was a pleasure being here.
But there you go, guys. Another episode of Late Nights with a Killer done. Guys, comment down below what other killer you want me to bring onto the show. I know we're bringing the hillbilly, because obviously we need to talk about that relationship, because that was just so out of left field. I bet they're probably having a fight right now, just smacking each other. Like, you told him? You told him? Now it's public. Now it's out there. But it's technically not canon, because everything, including in real life, is fake. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna head out. Whatever your name is, take it away. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Easy. Bye.